as a woman, you have to make all your fucks count. At this stage in life, most of us have already written off a few people. Nah, never happened. He didn't make me come. Cross out. He doing life in jail. Cross out. He's gay now. Cross out. He a woman now. Cross out. 3 died. -3. So you get to delete a good 7, 8 bodies, you know. But now the rest gotta count. Stop fucking first and trying to figure it out later. The unknown of your vagina is what gives you the leverage. Because niggas are dumb. They're so dumb that they believe that this pussy, your pussy that they never got, has to be the greatest they ever had. They just always thinking that this new pussy is what they dreamed and prayed for. They will do anything for it. So now you gotta see what they're willing to do for it. Guys be like, why would I pay for pussy? Pussy is free. Because the free pussy isn't your fantasy. Why do people buy water? Water is free too. Turn on your faucet. Don't lead with your pussy. Sometimes women think that they pimping when they really just hoeing. You save your pussy till it's worth using it. You don't gotta fuck every guy you get a little tingle down there from.
Hey, it's episode 69, and I want you all to know I just looked up how to do a 69 with 3 people, and I can't figure it out. So I think we should just call it a snail trail.
A 69 with 3 people?
I mean, I think you actually can do it if you think about it. So
It's just-
one person lays on that. So except the other person will be licking some ass or something.
Why?
Right?
We've got pussies.
I'm thinking about 69 with all girls. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about penis involved.
Me
in
too.
that.
I meant like...
But wait, just because I said ass, it can still be girls.
Yeah, you're right. But I
Girls, we all have ass.
Yeah.
Here we
It
go.
would have to be ass.
Here we go, guys. Of course, this is how we're starting off episode 69.
I don't even feel like we need to
It's gonna be
the show.
it's gonna be fucking
Disgusting.
disgusting. This is yet another episode, guys. Welcome to Horrible Decisions. I'm your girl Mandy B,
I'm Wheezy.
and we are sitting here next to a filthy, lovely, amazing, sexy
We
fucking
mean
guest.
filthy with love.
Filthy is a great thing.
Yes.
So we have the wonderful Raquel Savage, host of the Savage Life podcast, in the building.
So
And y'all have been wanting her for a long time, and y'all just act like we putting all motherfuckers on private jets and flying them. This whole live in Miami. We could not buy her ticket because we not there yet. We not there yet. We gonna let these niggas buy these tickets for her
That's a
though.
fact.
So we gonna work on
Set
it
it
for
up.
bringing her back. Well, before we start, for the people who aren't familiar with Raquel Savage,
Yes.
and what you do, can you go ahead and explain why you're so amazing and filthy all at the same time?
Oh, thank you. I'm a board certified sex therapist. I'm a sex worker, sex educator. Anything sex related is what I do, basically.
How do you
Yes.
get board certified to be a sex therapist?
So in the state of Florida specifically, you have to have a master's degree in a helping field. So basically I can do regular like mental health counseling. And then I got an extra certification that has to do with human sexuality.
So, like, my therapist talks with me and does exercises to, like, make me feel more zen.
Yeah.
If you're a sex therapist, do you, like, go down on me to make me feel more zen?
Right. What do you?
Absolutely not. No.
No?
No.
No. So what is
all
a
right,
sex
yeah,
therapist?
so,
do?
okay.
Break it
All
down,
right.
because we don't
All
know.
right, yeah.
We thought you out here. You know,
It's so
we're leading
fascinating to me that people like hear. I don't know if it's they hear sex therapist and think whore, or do they see me and hear sex therapist and say,
No.
I know you fucking. Like I don't know.
okay,
You know what I mean?
Trolling and
That's like-
shooting a shot.
So listen. So sex therapy is literally like an actual mental health counselor, therapist.
Right.
I have ethical boundaries and guidelines. Like I cannot fuck any of my clients. I cannot give counseling, any sessions to people who I know personally, no family,
How
friends.
does that work when you look pretty? Like when I watch the Netflix documentaries, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they have some sex therapy ones where
Yeah.
people come in and maybe they're like showing people how to touch.
Yes.
They're all old and white.
So, all right. So, if you are someone who does have like actual sexual interactions with people, you're not a sex therapist. You might be a sex surrogate, perhaps,
Sex
something like that.
surrogate.
Yeah. So, those people who
So when
actually
you can
do
assist
fuck.
in the bedroom, like
Yes,
not
that's-
fucking.
But sometimes they do fuck. But
right,
yeah,
right.
it can be like touch, you know.
Are you familiar with Glamazon Tayomi?
Yes.
I don't think she has sex with couples, but she will be there and
yes.
like
She's not a sex therapist.
Yeah, I think she's a sex coach.
coach.
So
Okay.
with sex therapy, what
Sex therapist is a regulated term.
and your clients would come to you for what issues surrounding sex?
Yes. So people will do like email me and say, oh my God, I want to learn how to suck dick better. And like, okay, I understand that. But really more so of what I do is on mental health side of things. So it's people who are like, I've never had an orgasm. And they say that. And generally it's because of anxiety, or I'm insecure about my body. How do I become more, or I can't approach
Sexual
women.
or
Do you have more
addiction.
people alone
Addictions,
or
dysfunctions,
couples?
fetishes, stuff like that. Both. I get
Bitch, I ain't
couples
bringing my
and
man to you.
individuals.
Wait, so people come with you because, of course, as you know, like every week we have kinks, and we're not going to get into the kink yet. But you said they come to you for fetishes.
Yeah.
And is it because they're not accepting of their fetishes and they don't know why they have these fetishes? Like, is this what you talk them
correct.
through?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I was actually just talking about this. So most people, because they approach, because I think my brand is very like explicit, right?
It's
so
fucking amazing.
They want to
But
know. They want to know the skills of things. But my thing is, I cannot give you a skill if you're too insecure to perform it. So when people come to me like, oh, I want to learn how to do this. I want to. Okay, if we're not going to address whatever is underneath all of that emotionally, there's no skill that I can fucking teach you. Like I can tell you to deep throat this way, upside down, close your thumbs, but if you're insecure, you can't fucking do it. You know what I mean? So we unpack whatever emotional baggage, trauma, past stuff, internal voice, mommy, daddy problems, all of that shit.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. Not
So
bad.
it's actually therapy. It's literally
Real
like whatever
therapy.
your regular mental health therapist would do for you. It's that, except I have extra knowledge on anything sex, sexuality, reproductive health, intimacy, anatomy, dysfunctions, sex addictions, anything.
So just so y'all know, when y'all are booking your sessions with Raquel, make sure you're booking the right one.
Yeah, so here's the thing. But let me say this. If you want to fuck,
Right.
that's a different booking. And that can also happen, but that's a lot more expensive. So there's that too.
So I know we
Have
really
you ever
don't.
wanted to offer someone your services that you felt like was fucked up? Like, you know, like maybe you had an idea that like, or was a virgin or couldn't get around sexing, like, you need me.
I think most people need therapists generally.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know that I've ever met anyone like, oh wow, I really want to give you therapy. No, that is like a lot of emotional labor for me. I feel like I already do so much emotional labor. I don't even think about like
Right.
offering it in that way. But most people, I say, you need to get a therapist.
Right.
So even if you consider yourself one who's like emotionally healthy, get a fucking
you
therapist.
need a therapist.
Please.
So what we normally do with our guests are icebreakers.
Yes.
I don't really think we need to break an ice with you, but we're going to go ahead and do this icebreaker with you. So the first one
Yes.
is, because you're so sexual and I love it, would you rather go a year without giving or receiving head
No.
or go a year without penetration?
I don't fuck penetration. I don't give a shit about that.
Really?
No. Wait. Let's clarify.
wait.
Are we talking about anal penetration
No.
or vaginal penetration?
Right, which one
penetration.
would you not be able to give up?
Anal. I want to do anal. I'll give up vaginal.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so no penetration. So would you rather give
First
up
of all, okay,
oral
but
or penetration?
If the question
Girl,
is that
penetration
vague,
the word, bitch, you know.
Oh,
No,
now
I'm
she's
just
talking
saying.
about vagueness. Like, where's the penetration happening? Like,
I want to suck dick and I want to get my pussy
So
ate.
you want your face fucked for penetration.
Exactly.
Okay.
We can do that. But like vaginal
You can
penetration
give up
to me
vaginal
is-
penetration for a year?
It's nothing. That's like whatever. Okay, fine. What's next?
Is it because you don't have vaginal orgasms?
Yes, that's part of it, and also because
Oh.
niggas. So the people who have like penetrated me, niggas who have good stroke game, that's so rare.
It's so
like
rare,
it's
and you just
I
keep
can
them forever
enjoy
when
it
you
without
get it.
coming, but that's such a fucking rarity that it's like,
Yeah.
what are we even?
What are we doing?
And niggas be coming fast, so it's like even
As
when I'm
fuck.
about to get into it, it's like they nutted already,
And then you got to wait for them to
and
get
it's
back
like,
up.
so are we like well, okay?
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not.
I don't really come vaginally often, but I still need it.
No.
I don't even want head.
Well, hold on,
like,
hold
if a
on.
nigga's giving me head, I'd be like, okay, fuck me now. Like,
Really?
I love penetration, and I come vaginally.
Okay, but here's another thing. Also, it depends on the penis that we're talking about. Because I don't like long, skinny dicks.
All right,
I don't
who
really
does?
like long
Booty
dicks
cocks.
either.
Like-
I like a nice, fat, bust me open. So I will say that there have been times that I've gone a long time without penetration, and I have like desired the fullness of dick. If I don't know if that makes any sense, but like being
You're-
filled up, like bust open.
I like the feel
I
of
like
like
that.
getting stretched and stuff. I get
Correct.
that.
Yes. So that would be the only thing, like penetration wise, where I'm like, yeah, I really
That
want
makes
that.
sense.
Wow.
And I like really big dicks. So that's, I think, what I like. And
Boom.
also pain. Like, I enjoy taking a very big dick because I enjoy pain.
And boom, and also, like I said, there's a footnote there for anal sex. Like, I don't ever want to give that up. So that's that.
Footnote for anal sex. Jesus Christ. So, my next question is, what's the one thing sexually that you wouldn't do no matter the amount of money?
It's so funny because I feel like such a whore because I'll be like, probably nothing.
I mean, we said we'd get
But-
shit on for 50 G's, which is very low, I feel like, but...
we did say 50
Shit
G's for
on.
shit.
And then
Shit
it kept
on.
getting lower as
I think we
talked
ended-
it
we
down.
got
What if
down
it was
to
you?
10, right?
What if it was you?
No.
What if it wasn't wet?
I think we talked it down to 10, bro.
No, you did, bitch.
Bitch, you agreed.
I
It
said...
was like, as long as it was a hard shit and not a runny shit.
You...
there are, it's nuance. Nuance is important in that conversation
I
for
said
sure.
there is.
You shit on me for 20. You said you shit on me for 10.
So is there nothing that you wouldn't do?
I wouldn't do any scat play. I would never do shit anything. No. I would shit on someone. I've done that.
But I
wouldn't. Would never get shit on.
Nah, but see, I don't feel like...
No.
So for no amount of money.
No, I don't. Okay. How? I'm a million?
You know what it is?
Like, I'd be up in that. I'd be up in that
It's all about,
category.
like, the fear factor effect. We all are like, oh, my God, I'd never eat a cockroach. But for how much? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I actually don't think I could do that for any money.
I don't know that I could
I don't know
either.
about a cockroach, bro.
Bitch, you put
I
$500,000
would
on this
honestly,
table.
that's different because that is literally fear. Because I would probably just pass the fuck out and win the
I
challenge.
think I would, too,
die.
But also, like, vacations. And so, like, I have a very bad phobia with, like, insects to the point where, like, I've been talking to my therapist about it because... Did I ever tell you about the cockroach in my ear?
Yeah, no, you did.
I'm going to tell y'all this story really quick, but it was really insane. My mom... I don't even know if I told her.
You went to a hood nigga house. You shared this on the show.
I did?
Yeah, you
And
did.
the cockroach went in my ear?
And she had to go to the doctor and get it taken
And it
out.
was like
yeah,
in,
you shared that.
your ear.
It was deep in there, and it was like moving in and out, and I can't even see my hair on the bed without thinking like,
Yeah.
bitch. When I had a wig, I thought it was 1,000 cockroaches.
It's
every
cockroaches every time you see it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing,
Traumatized.
because you don't fear dick or pussy. I guess that's why you would do anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with the shits.
Like,
I would,
and I know
was gonna
that
say
you're
wouldn't
into
kill somebody
gangbang,
for
so
money,
it's
but
not
I'm
the
pretty
number.
much with the shits.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
the
all
number.
a go.
Okay, all right. Well, shit. Well, I'm curious. Then we gonna bring this into a little something. So, what type of porn do you watch? If you kind of would do everything and are in the industry,
Yeah.
what porn gets you off?
I like to watch gay porn mostly.
Oh my god, me too.
I like to watch that.
And I think more people are getting into that.
Yeah, I like to watch two dudes fucking, and then I also like to watch cream pie porn. So specifically amateur cream pie porn.
That's my
I don't
favorite.
like to watch like porn cream pie porns, like professionals, because it's
Not
I think
real.
because I'm in the industry, I know like
Well, no.
all of the
We-
background.
Someone's
Like,
talking about
I'm not
it.
interested in
Lethal
that.
Lips. She said they mix like.
Yeah,
shit
you know,
together.
they got to come up with
Did
a
she
pop
say eggs?
sometime.
No.
I think she said something about egg whites for something.
Egg
Egg
whites
whites.
or
You
something.
You can make
like
it out
that.
of anything as long as
Yeah.
it looks white. Niggas don't be knowing.
That's why I'm
So
honestly on
Fuck
field right
up.
now. Like
Yeah.
I'm on that threesome app, and I'm like, we had a threesome. It was like whatever, but like the cream pie eating is like specifically what I need to get done, and then I can get married after that.
So
I
you
need to get this shit over with.
so you mentioned that you're in the industry.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Because I know you got the premium Snapchat.
Yeah.
What are the things that people can come and see?
So first of all, I would never or want to call myself a porn star because I haven't worked that hard in that industry to
Right.
Earn that title. But
What, star?
Porn
star or porn performer or porn anything, like I wouldn't really align myself with that because those people who are porn stars do a lot of really hard work, and that's a title they deserve. Like I don't do hard work. I just like suck dick
be
for
lazy?
5 minutes and then I put it on premium and I get a band. Like so I don't
So
really
what
work
is that
hard.
amateur porn performer called then?
Amateur porn is like me and you and we're girlfriends and we record it and when we put it somewhere and then it blows up and it's on this Twitter page and on YouTube.
But you're saying
and
just because it
on
doesn't
YouTube,
blow up,
Pornhub.
that's why you're not a porn star?
No, I'm saying. I mean,
But
I guess.
yeah.
I
I
literally.
don't really understand because okay, I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I thought porn was just like the content, whether it be video
Yes.
or some kind of media that is sexual. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe I can Google it right now.
Yeah.
No, you are right in that. So this is really the differentiation I guess I'm making. Is it just I feel the same way about modeling. So I model, but I would never call myself a model because models work really hard and they really want to
Right.
be models and that's like some of their fucking life goals. So I would feel like I'm sullying the name to call myself a model. I feel the same way about porn. Like I don't fucking work hard. I don't have the desire to be a big porn fucking performer. You know what I mean? So I feel
Raquel
weird.
Savage on Pornhub.
But
Right.
in saying that, I do put out content that is porn, and I do
Okay.
porn. Yeah, so it's like, yeah.
What do you?
And I've shot
what's
with
the
porn
word
stars,
you
so
use
it's like,
that you prefer
I don't really use any. I just say sex worker.
sex worker.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
what is a sex worker?
So, sex worker is an umbrella term for anyone in the sex industry. So that would be dancers, that would be porn performers, that would be escorts, that would be fetish trainers, that would be people who sell nudes and panties online,
How do you
cam
feel about
girls.
bitches that pop their pussy on stage and rap and do all of that stuff, but then say that?
Like down escorts,
Huh?
people who sell pussy.
Barb's came for me today, bitch. I don't know who sent them the link, but I was like talking about how shocked I was that Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj said that. they was all up and through my shit.
I mean, there's a hierarchy, unfortunately.
I think we've said it now too. And the hierarchy of hoes.
It's unfortunate because it's really like internalized misogyny. It's women kind of internalizing whatever is male centered and playing off of that to be against one another. But it's all performative for men. If men did not exist and that whole like power of men controlling our narrative wasn't there, we wouldn't be saying, "Well, I don't sell pussy, I shake my ass." That logically doesn't even fucking make sense. So, like, bitch, okay.
Right. So I have a question. I want to bring the question, though, back to, you said you're not a porn star and you don't do porn, but you do
I have
porn.
a premium Snapchat, yes.
And with that, what is it?
So basically, it's Snapchat. Like, literally Snapchat, the app. And I have a specific account that I created.
Because them hoes keep denying us Snapchat filters for our live show because we have horror in our name. And you on there making money.
Thing, they don't know what my, like... I mean, obviously, I guess there's some person
Is this
in
what
the
I was hearing
internet.
about, like them trying to stop the Snapchat and like Instagram and like take those pages down?
Yeah. So because of the FOSTA-SESTA bills, they are shadow banning and blocking FOSTA, FOSTA, and SESTA, SESTA. Can
you tell us about it?
Yeah. So those are bills that have been passed that basically censor websites, third party or otherwise. So that would include like Craigslist, Backpage,
yes,
including Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. The bill will hold websites accountable for the content that is posted. And if the content that is posted has anything to do with what they are vaguely defining, and they're doing that intentionally, and I'll talk about that as well, vaguely defining as sex trafficking, the websites get fined. So basically what ends up happening is they shut down Backpage, right? They shut down all this, the personals ads on Craigslist.
Sex trafficking,
but
not
also,
sex work.
Yes, but hold on, it's a footnote. But also for sites like Twitter and Instagram and all of that, if Twitter sees a sex worker's page, porn, whatever, they could be held accountable for the content that I post. So what they would do is shadow ban me, which is make it impossible for people to find my page, or just shut my shit down altogether.
Could we be on the way out?
There's a notice that we got from Patreon. Patreon emailed as well. Like, Patreon also said if your page has anything to do with sex or anything like that.
But there's a lot of like sex workers on Patreon. Like, they sell their pictures and like stuff like that. Like, I've seen that.
Right, but if you're selling clips or sex, they're saying that we would even remove your patron page.
Even if it's like sex work adjacent, which is kind of what I'm calling it, they're gonna shut you the fuck down. Yeah, because they're not. All of these sites don't have like a team of people who are like, let's be really specific about how we discern who is a sex worker and who's not. They're gonna be like, bitch, if I can get fined, I'm shutting you the fuck down.
Right,
and that's. This bigger conversation is really about censorship. So it's really about censorship, because what ultimately happens is our voices, our pages, our ability to make money, our ability to do anything gets silenced. So I can get all of my shit shut down because I'm a sex worker and talk about sex, advocate for this, whatever. And they could say, oh, you're advocating for sex trafficking, because, again, they define that so loosely. It's up to them to interpret what the fuck that means. And, again, that was intentional so that they could make that decision.
Right.
But I guess currently at this time, I'm not really like hurting anybody. And when I say anybody, I don't mean like the general public. I mean like the government or whatever else.
Right.
To me, part of the reason why this bill came about and moved through everything so quickly is because of Stormy Daniels.
I was about to say,
this is the woman who is a sex worker who has a huge voice, and they wanted to shut her the fuck down.
Yeah.
So, and again, is there so much?
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right,
so well, that's that.
We're going to go ahead and get into our kink of the week for the show.
Sure.
Okay, and I really hope that maybe you have a story. Because this is the one thing that I do not do and I'm totally against.
Okay.
So the kink of the week, guys, for this week is menophilia.
Do you know what that means? Is, no.
So menophilia is arousal from having sex during menstruation.
Well, you've never had period
Fucking
sex?
on your period.
I mean, I've never been aroused by it, but like, I'm not about to stop.
Have you never had period sex?
Hold on, but Mandy says she has a 3-day period, and I feel
I do have a 3-day period.
I know,
so that's why
that's why you've never done it.
No. I feel like that's why you're always like, I don't fuck on my period. It's only 3 days.
If a nigga can't wait, like, but
what if I don't even 7 days.
I don't even like this is the thing too. I really have like I don't know if it's a phobia, but blood literally still. R-rated movies, I'm covering my eyes if I see blood. When I wipe myself, even while I'm bleeding, I be like, ugh. Like, man, I hate blood, bro.
Like, side note, we have 2 things here that y'all need to go to therapy for. Blood trauma, something's happened there.
There's no blood trauma.
And insect trauma.
But this is the thing, though. Like, if it was 7 days, I really don't feel like you could... I feel
first
like
of all,
you get
what's
over
the
it.
issue? Like, so
see, first off...
is it your own, like...
Well, to me, it's like, first off, like, when... It's the mess, of course, that would be associated with it. First off, I don't like
I
the
can
mess.
get messier than that, so it's like, whatever.
And then also to me, like there is like I'm moody.
Okay, that's fair.
There is a smell associated with blood
mean,
depending on the day you're on. And to me, I'm just like not that interested in fucking during my
that's
my
fair.
period.
That's
like,
fair.
and I know a lot of people like, and I've had guys that are like, it's just a little blood,
I'm with the
and then
shits,
I'm
yeah.
totally
If
turned
it's
off.
not like a
I'm
heavy
totally
day,
turned
like
off, bro.
Day one, I get it.
It could be day 3.5, and I still got the brown discharge, and I still don't want to fuck until the
that's the
brown
day
is
I'm
gone.
sorry.
See, look, that's
Look, I'm gonna fuck when I'm literally bleeding. I don't give a fuck.
I'm be honest with you.
If whoever I'm fucking doesn't care, I don't care.
So and it's a lot about their comfortability too. The dude I'm with literally was like, he got too close to my stomach, and I said, no, like stop. And he's like, oh, I don't care.
how long do you have to know a guy before that is acceptable? Like period sex. How long?
Me personally?
Don't say first night, bro, because I'll fuck you up.
Um,
Jump across this table right
Not the
goddamn.
first
Well,
time.
you know what? This is. So I want to say that sex workers would not even be able to do their job if we didn't fuck on our period. That's the real reality here.
Oh,
So because. And whether you're a sex worker who fucks or whether you're a sex worker who dances or whatever, we are on our period every fucking month, right? It happens every month. So can
How
you
long are your
imagine if
periods?
a week?
Me too.
Yeah, like 5 days. So can you imagine if we took 5 days out of every fucking month off because we're bleeding?
So what do you use? Because I know we've talked about the makeup sponges. Is there anything that you use? Like, do you use the Diva Cup? Is there anything that you use while you're on your period?
Yeah,
or do you just
tampons.
use your mouth?
No, I just get a tampon, shove it way up in there.
And fuck with a tampon in there?
Yep.
How do you get it out?
I pull the string
Look,
out.
we're both looking at each other.
I pull the string out, but I do want to say that there has been one time that I got it stuck up in that shit and couldn't get it out. And I had to go to the doctor and get it pulled out.
like, what was
Like, I'm really scared. But
It's
like
not
I'll
that
fuck on my
scary.
period.
Look, no, like
okay, I'm gonna say this.
No.
I will like I've had very intensive conversations with the guy that I'm currently dating about like my period and fucking on my period. And he's like, "Look, I'm an adult. This is something you're gonna always have to go through, and I'm just not gonna not do this with you because I find you disgusting. If you don't want to personally do it because you can't deal with your own messiness or you have a complex about it, fine. But like, this is not gonna stop the show for me.
yeah.
My
no.
thing is, I think for me, so personally, I don't give a shit. And also, if I'm doing sex work, I'm fucking on my period, and that's that. But also with people, when I would have this conversation, I'm going to be asking people like, what comes up for you when you think about it? If the initial thing is disgust, then that needs to probably be unpacked because periods being disgusting is a socialized thing.
Well, no,
that's really you know what I mean.
But it's like I know that I've had a period since I was 10 years old, so it's not. But to me, the act of like sharing my blood with someone, that to me is the part that sounds kind of disgusting. We're not supposed to share blood. There shouldn't
What
be
about
a
it is
swapping of it.
disgusting?
Like I just don't think. I think it's a disgusting thing.
But what comes up?
Like
what's
the smell, like the fact that blood is blood. Like
I
know
get the smell
I know
thing
that
more than I get anything
Well,
else.
even when I was growing up, so being in school, if a kid had a cut on their finger, like they told you don't touch it. There's blood. Like so, I don't.
But that's socialization.
I don't feel like people should be touching each other's blood, I guess. I don't know. It's just fucking gross to me. Like, I'll stop spit, I'll squirt on a nigga, I'll piss on a nigga, but blood, I don't know, bro. I just can't get with it, dog. I just can't.
That's the
not even
part
like
you gotta
can't
unpack.
get with it. Blood.
I can't get
You know
with
what?
it.
It's like if you were a lesbian and you had to fuck on your periods, I could get if it was someone else's blood, but that's what
You know what?
surprises me
Thank
the
God,
most.
lesbians, when you around a bitch long enough, your periods become in
They
sync.
sync up.
So, bitch, we gonna be on a period at the same time, bitch. We just not fucking this week. See you next week,
I'm
hope.
gonna keep it doing. I have done that shower sex with a
course.
bitch.
Yeah.
Not with
Yeah.
men, but like with a girl, yeah.
I mean, I said that I accidentally, like, I was eating a girl out and fingering her at the same time, and
Maybe
then
it's just your
noticed
nails.
the color under my nails.
Yeah.
And she,
You brought that shit on.
no,
with the
I
fucking-
must have popped the shit on. That's why we were just talking about
No
nails in the
nails, no
hallway.
nails,
I was
yeah.
like, oh well. I mean, like, damn, bitch, your period came on. I see it under my nails.
But the
goddamn.
word that you said, that's not just like fucking on your period. That's a philia. So that's like being aroused, particularly by doing it. when you're on your period.
Right. Well,
so that's a totally separate thing
there
than
are
just
guys,
like doing it.
There are guys that will ask
yeah,
to
it's a-
fuck
it's a
while a girl is
genre
on. It's a
on
thing.
Pornhub.
Yeah. No, I didn't click on that one. But I know that that's a thing. So we're going to go ahead. The kink, for the horrible decision, we want to do a lot of talking with you.
Okay.
A whole
Let's
lot
do
of
it.
fucking talking. So I want to
I'm
make sure
ready.
we get there. So the horrible decision for this week, I like to lovely call it the oldest profession.
Yes.
That's a classy way of saying hoe.
I want to get into everything
Prostitute whore.
Everything hoe. Everything hoe. So before we start, and I hope maybe you have some ones to debunk as well. So I want to open this up with common misconceptions about sex workers.
Yeah.
And about sex work in general.
Yeah.
So one that is often perceived, and I want you to maybe debunk that in any way or fashion you can, because I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
The common misconception that I always hear is that sex workers are dirtier than non-sex workers.
Oh, man. I love people's minds and how people's minds work and how people really lack critical thought and the ability to think about what they think, because people have a lot of beliefs and moral values that come from nowhere, and they don't ever really reflect on them, and it's not logical. So I'm just so interested by people and how they think. But first of all, I'm not going to say all sex workers. First of all, let's start.
Go ahead.
Let's start with the fucking question alone, because I do not like the framing of dirty versus clean.
Agreed.
That language to me already sets up and throws off. It's a loaded question. You know what I mean? Because then that framing sets. So, like, loaded questions are basically questions that already have an agenda in them. All right, cool. All right.
We there with you.
All right.
And I will tell you real quick,
what do you think it's loaded with that? Do you think dirty is in, like, dirty?
So, dirty has a negative connotation.
So
that, because of that, the way in which I'm forced to answer basically is no, I'm clean. And I'm not saying you forced me, but that's like the
common misconceptions that I found online. So
I'm not saying you, but so that's like the framing of the question is now, and it puts me on defense, not me, or puts whoever's being asked that on defense, because like, well, I'm clean. No, first of all, none of us are fucking clean. We all have diseases. We all get viruses. We're human. That's part of the human condition is we get sick.
Right.
Sometimes we get sick and it can't be fucking cured. And if it can't be cured, we manage it or we fucking die. That's the human experience. So STDs and HIV are a part of the fucking human experience. If you have sex, you are someone, even if you don't have sex, if you are a human person, you are liable to be able to get a virus.
And girls are getting fucking yeast infections and
all
before even
all
fucking.
The fucking time, yes.
All before even fucking.
And people consider that dirty as well.
They do. Nah, niggas be thinking girls with a yeast infection is dirty, but it could literally come from a fucking bathing suit or
everything.
too short of shorts or like
or diet.
Or like anything can affect the
humidity.
vagina.
I've been fucking Miami, bitch. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. So there's that. So that's one of the common misconceptions, and I hear you talk about it all the time. And we had King Noir on, who was also a guest on your show.
Yes.
Something that all of the sex workers who have been on the show, or even the people who are in the sex lifestyle, such as swinging or anything else, they get tested more than niggas, the regular niggas.
Yes.
And I just want to say the regular niggas because
when you go to a sex club and you're so impressed with how many people have like their results on hand or, like,
and great hygiene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're like overly I don't know, just forward about their health, their sexual health. Whereas other men, I've noticed,
I'm good,
like,
you good,
right?
Shit.
Right. So the first part of that is I would encourage people to shift their language and their mindset about that concept. But then the secondary thing to that, as you said, is a lot of sex workers, and I'm not even going to say all because it depends on what kind of access you have. You know, people who do sex work on the street, for instance, have less access to HIV and STD testing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of us who are porn performers or sex workers who have more hired clientele and we have more money, we either are required to get tested or have access to that. So like porn performers, it costs $150 to go get your test.
Right.
Not everybody has access to that, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Or not everybody has access to medical anything. So it's not like all sex workers are more on top of their sexual health. That's not really true, but and a lot of sex workers are more on top of their sexual health because we are in the sex industry and it's something that we think about, and our safety and everyone else's safety is really fucking important. And absolutely, we have more explicit conversations about our sexual health than civilians. Civilians don't fucking talk about sexual health at all.
No, they don't.
It's
they don't.
You know what?
She's
non-sex industry people,
My sister works in the Army, and she calls everyone who's not in the military civilian.
Yeah, I mean, literally last night I was with a trick, and I was sucking his dick, and he like, all right, bend over, we're gonna fuck. I'm like, cool. And he's like, are you clean? And I'm like, nigga, so you just thought I was just gonna fuck you raw? Like, A, B, this is not the fucking time to have that conversation. Like, your dick is hard, I'm ready to fuck.
Dick in me.
Yeah, we need to have the conversation first if you're trying to do that. You know what I mean?
So even if you said, I don't know,
Oh, they're so fucking what? Oh my god! Especially athletes are the fucking
the worst. Let's not get
They'll
into that.
fuck anything wrong,
and then come in you and say you on birth control.
Correct.
Right? Like nigga,
what? You didn't even.
That's a little late to be
because
asking.
guess what, bitch? I'm not. Now I'm getting a check. So what's up? Secure the bag, bitch.
Yo, shut up. She said secure the bag. You're bad.
I'm good, love. Enjoy.
Exactly.
I'm good on that baby.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. I really feel for women that were living in Ireland before, like, a few weeks ago that couldn't get abortions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I don't know what I would do. I would really think about, like, throwing myself down the stairs. I'd call one of my Latino friends, like, what do I have to drink to make this shit come out of me? I'm just like,
it is.
Because they know everything. Dominican bitches know everything.
No, they really do in real life.
You know what I'm saying? I've called Dominican chicks venting about work stuff, and they're like, let me tell you what to do. I'm like, I don't want to kill him. What the fuck? Like, goddamn. I just said my boss pissed me off. I don't want that nigga to die.
So another common misconception is that, and I found this as well, only people who have experienced trauma go into being a sex worker.
That's another.
Yeah. And it's funny because even with me and Weezy talking and me talking to men about like how much I enjoy sex or things like that, people always assume one of us have daddy issues.
Right.
Or we were raped when we were young. That's why we like sex so much.
First of all, that's so interesting too because daddy issues or being sexually assaulted is likely not a you problem. That's a man problem. So that's not even a reflection of you. That's a reflection of men.
Of course,
so
but men never see it as that.
Right?
Yeah, men never see it as that. They're never the problem. We're the problem.
But my first counter to that would be how many of us don't have trauma? I don't give a fuck what field we're in. Right. How many of us don't have trauma? Most of us have trauma. Absolutely. If you are a living person who is black, you likely have trauma. If you are a living person who is a woman, you likely have trauma. If you're a living person who's queer, who is disabled, who is HIV positive, whatever, you likely have some fucking trauma. If you live in a system under capitalism, bitch, you probably have trauma. Like
I just date niggas that ain't shit. So.
And that too.
That's trauma.
Traumatic.
That's trauma.
Yes. So I just want to that's like my first counter is we all have fucking trauma of some sort. So that's like a how do I say this? That's like putting you up on a higher pedestal because I chose this work and you chose that, but we both have trauma, but it makes your trauma more of influential on your life because you chose this line of work. It's just like the logic just doesn't really line up.
No,
but I want to also say that there are a lot of sex workers who have experienced trauma. Whether or not that made them go into sex work, I have no fucking clue.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we are people. A lot of us have trauma. Some of us choose to be whores. Some of us choose to work in a fucking 9-to-5 cubicle. Like, you just don't fucking know. So
I'm a slut too.
Then boom. All right.
In a 9-to-5 cubicle.
Send in my pussy.
That's
legit,
lit.
like, we'll pull my underwear down. I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. I'll send the files. And I'll send my fucking pussy.
I love that.
I remember my Wii Vibe was going off once, and the AC suddenly shut off in the office, and all anybody could hear was that. And I was like, God damn it, where is the phone? Shit.
Oh, my gosh.
So I wanted to get into this, too, because so we just had Andrew Shulz on the show. So we went on to Brilliant Idiots, and me and Weezy were discussing casual sex and, having multiple partners. And he said that the biology of a woman isn't made to take multiple dicks at a time.
And and his expertise on vaginas is what?
This is what he said. He said that as women, we weren't made to be able to have the casual sex or be able to take multiple dicks at a time.
What was the illogic there?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And we tried to get him to explain it. I don't know.
And I'm sure he couldn't verbalize it because there is no logic.
I'm gonna trying to make sense of dumb people shit.
Correct.
But I think
don't hurt yourself.
Right.
Andrew's not dumb. He's a comedian.
He's a brilliant idiot.
But I do think that men think like because it's a muscle that we can get stretched out.
But we can have babies.
Well, I believe that they think because like some women have different anatomy where they may be larger down there or vulvas might look different. Like there's so many different things. They feel like one pussy is tighter because we got less fucked.
You went to school for this. Like, do you know how does that happen with the looseness or the tightness?
Again, okay. Men who think they're authority on things they don't know about is just such a fucking disease. And
Absolutely.
It's like, it really drives me insane.
Absolutely.
But so ask me the question again because I want to ask me again.
Basically stating
women's vaginas are not made
biology
for lots of dicks.
For multiple dicks.
Because they're going to stretch.
Well, that's
because so the whole setup of that question revolves around niggas and fucking us. Because the whole point there is the whole point there is if I have a lot of dick in my vagina, it will then be more stretched out, meaning that I cannot please my male partner as much as if it were tight. So that it doesn't even have to do like what? Like that, you know what I'm saying?
Like if I got a man and I fuck him every night,
First of all, vaginas do stretch. I think that people always want to talk about, well, vaginas, they bounce back. But no, bitch, sometimes they do stretch, and you are a little bit fucking looser. Okay, and what? You're just not going to be gaping the fuck open for hours or the rest of the year.
And I can't wait to get
Not only that, the fact that people think that dicks could stretch a pussy out, and we're shooting out whole ass human bodies out of our vagina, but y'all are okay if a girl has one kid. To not sit here and to be comparing a human body coming out to dicks going in. Do you know how much smaller a goddamn dick is compared to a whole ass fucking baby?
And also,
y'all's fucking dicks ain't 6 pounds 11 ounces.
Fuck no,
they're fucking not. Like not even fucking close.
And I ain't gonna lie, I've had some and I'd be like, dude, what is it?
Is that a baby leg? Well, it's probably a baby leg.
It do feel like a baby leg.
Vaginas are supposed to stretch when they're aroused, so that's also interesting to me too, because so many niggas think like, oh, your shit got to be tight, dumb tight, or her pussy was tight.
That means you really
was
ain't got
not
me
aroused. So if my vagina
really
is nice
hurting
and relaxed, that means it's ready to accommodate your fucking penis. Also, what were vaginas made for? They weren't made for taking lots of dick. They were fucking made for
reproduction.
Right. So if we're talking about what vaginas are made for, like, what?
Niggas. Right.
Mine was made for fucking, I think.
Yeah, mine too. Mine wasn't made to be spitting babies out.
Mine definitely wasn't made for spitting babies out, but I don't think it was made for lots of dick either.
I watched a kid say, I think when I first moved to New York, he looked at his mom in a Starbucks and said, "Fuck you." And I was like,
that's it for me.
Just take a dick.
Shut it down.
It's an entryway, not an exit.
So I want to get it. Well, I guess that's what she thinks.
Let me say one more thing.
Too, right?
Also, not all women fuck dicks. So that alone is like, who even gives a fuck about what happens to vaginas when dicks go in them? Like, some women don't even have nothing going up in their pussy, or it's not a dick. So fuck out of here. Completely.
Fuck you, niggas. Nah. So I want to get back into the oldest profession. So I was talking to my friends. There's a lot of questions around this. And one that they really had was, how do you prepare yourself to have sex with someone that you aren't attracted to? How?
I get the money up front. And I shove a lot of lube up in my vagina before I see them.
You know what?
Really?
The last escort I interviewed, she was like, I think about the money. Like, that was... Yeah. And I kind of get it.
Yeah. Most of us work because we need money.
When I had a sugar daddy, like, even though I enjoyed his company and stuff like that, like, all the stuff he was doing for me got me excited to fuck him. People were like, "Oh my God, do you like that?" And I'd be like, "Bitch, fuck yeah!" Like, I'd be looking at my nice apartment, and then I'd be like, "Come here."
Yeah. Exactly. I'm really lucky,
Did you pop it, honey? Did you take your... Okay, it's up. You got it up?
I don't have to fuck a lot of people who I'm not attracted to. I mostly fuck niggas that I'm super attracted to because I mostly fuck athletes. So I am very blessed that that's not my life. But I would say the few times that I have done it, it has been, I'm thinking about the shmoney. And also, niggas come so quick. It don't really be that stressful.
I mean, we see you. But okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right.
Can I ask, how do you, like, when you're fucking athletes, or, like, let's say... I met a girl who was telling me that she, like, only fucks baseball players. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah, I pretty much only fuck football players.
So, like,
thank God we're not in the same sport.
How does that get around for you? Like, how do you promote yourself to make sure you stay paid?
I don't. I just get on Instagram and like niggas' pictures
with blue check marks.
Yep. I have a whole fucking system.
Simple. So, real quick. So, a lot of girls want to know this system. Real quick. Right. Could you share, what do you DM these niggas? Right? Yes. What do you? Can we give a little, how to real quick? How do you land?
I'll share my my recipe.
Can you give a tip to the listeners?
Yeah, I want all bitches to prosper.
Yes, bitch.
So first of all, they're definitely not, because
I was about to say
me. But this is what I do, right? Okay. So first of all,
ladies, listen, because y'all been asking me about these NBA players. It's universal. It works for all these.
I think firstly, I know that the niggas who find me attractive are mostly football players. That's been my personal experience. Okay. I've fucked a couple of basketball players. I'm not really sure. This is my interpretation, is that I think that basketball players, at least the ones that I have seen are in my area, more so like skinny white girls.
Shit,
that's been my experience. I'm not saying all of them, but that's been my experience. Okay. So, but like football players, they're all down for the shit.
I'm not. I mean, I know you, but I see with Mandy, it's different for you. I feel like, because you're pretty, you're thick, and you know ball. So I feel like it's just like they get more.
Them niggas don't even like that I know ball. Because then they be like, "Oh, you know him?" Like I can't even. No. Or they think I know ball because I be around all these niggas.
It's like you got that package too, but with I have seen a lot of ball players with skinny white girls or models. Like, it shocks me.
Oh, but that's just for face value and to be out.
Because
the whores, that just has been my experience.
They be with the hoes and they be fucking all the like the bitches that they really be fucking and breaking money off for ain't the bitches they out seeing with or posting on Instagram.
That's
with.
a fact.
So they might
you can break money off for anybody.
They might like the way that a skinny girl with blonde hair looks like. She may be a fucking Victoria's Secret model. Oh, but they hitting up the big booty hoes at Starlets or
but that's the thing to me. If all
bitches.
you niggas like them bitches, then why not have one on your arm? Because
because it's perception. Yeah. They look like hoes. Like even so, there was a conversation.
Build your social capital.
Yeah,
big booty bitches. We don't.
It's just that. Like even with and I was with a friend before, and he's not even my friend. Bitch, wheelchair. Talk about it. But anyways. This nigga was in a goddamn wheelchair and had the fucking nerve to say some bullshit to me. I was out with my friends. I had two friends
While he was in the wheelchair?
While he was in the motherfucking wheelchair. Don't be fucking...
He used to not be in a wheelchair.
He used to not be in a wheelchair, but now he is. So we're at dinner together, and I'm with my friend, two friends. One got a big booty, the other
I have the
is
comebacks
slimmer.
already. Like, nigga, you better
is a little
your
slimmer. His... Here you go.
I don't even know what he said. I'm mad.
So he literally looked at us, and we were just having the conversation of dating because clearly he wanted to have fun with me. I ain't into, like handicaps. So, but we still had the conversation and we're talking, and he was like, listen, because of how you look and your body type, I couldn't bring you to church and I couldn't bring you around my mama because you look like fun or like you're
look like you're made for fucking.
That's pretty much what he said. And then my next friend, mind you,
it's a tattoo.
Mind you, no, because my other friend had no tattoos, but also had a big butt. And then my other friend was slimmer, mind you, be about the same whole shit as all of us, and was like, because of how she presents herself, she could be.
I just saw the caption.
She could be wifed or cuffed or brought to church, or I could introduce her to my mom without her looking at her as...
It's not sound, but it absolutely is an opinion that has real social consequences in reality.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And so I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you that too. What do you do with the judgment of being a sex worker from women, from men, from family?
Yeah.
How do you take in judgment?
My family is wildly supportive. So
I love your mom, by the way.
Yeah, I don't.
Her mom is
any
lit like me and
with
Weezy's mom, y'all.
What's your
my mom is white.
You ain't know that. You ain't know that this was the biracial show,
super white.
No,
biracial show, black and white in the building. We got 1.5 black people in the house.
My mom has she's like Irish. Did you say what kind of white?
She from
Irish,
Ireland?
Polish, Scottish, German, like white. Like,
that's what all white people are, though.
No, I didn't know if she was American or not.
Yeah.
Because
American.
European sex work,
New England, Massachusetts, white.
Yeah, but most of the white people are mixed with all that white people shit,
Correct,
like from Europe.
Well, yeah, but
we're not like
Europe,
Russian and Czech. We're like
sex work is a lot more accepted in Europe
than
like
American
Russia.
Street.
Yeah, we don't have that influence though. She's just honestly her thing is that she either was going to know where I'm sucking dick tonight or she wasn't, and so her thing was like I'm going to be involved. You know what I mean? Like she wants to know that I'm safe. So it started when I was younger, and it was just like, all right, bitch. Well, if this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be.
Proud of you?
Absolutely.
People are shocked that my mother says that stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm like, why would you not? Like, especially if you see your kid be successful in whatever they do, be safe
and happy.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, I know
and
there's a lot of sex workers, and I know they probably ain't doing as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't get any of that from my family. Luckily, that's I'm very blessed. But
now I do want to just say this because I made a comment last week, and I said Nicki Minaj implied that sex work was bad, and people were like, "Well, it's not good," and it's not necessarily to say that it's good, but I think the shame behind it. Right? Just like we may not want our own daughters to be escorts or strippers, I think it's more for the things that come with it. And we know that people could treat you so badly. That's really why I wouldn't want my kid to, like, strip or do something like that. Because I don't want her to ever have to feel like shit. I feel like shit doing this podcast from how niggas talk to me, let alone if I was up there on a pole. So I don't want you to think we're sitting here asking these family questions. But I also do want to highlight that not every sex worker is broken and battered.
Right. And even sex workers who are broken and battered, that's okay, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. And I absolutely wouldn't mind if I ever had daughters, which I will never have kids, but if I had daughters, sons, whatever the case may be, if they went into any sex work, as long as they're doing what feels right for them, whether it's a choice that they're making because they want to, or whether it's a choice because they have no other choice.
Shit, right? I don't mean it in the sex work. Like, for example, I don't want my kid to be a waitress so that people don't have to talk shit to her and she's going to have to go off. Because I feel like that is the hardest. I think that shit is harder than escorting. I would rather fuck for money than you feel, excuse me, and get a fucking attitude with me. I don't know how people do it every day. There's a lot of fucking hard jobs, bro.
There is.
You know? Like, it's not just sex work. And it's like, I feel so badly that people like think are, I guess maybe more for the closed-minded, but we just shit on it so bad.
I don't really know that I give a fuck about shame or any of that. Like
you don't.
I'm really.
I follow you. You walk in your motherfucking truth.
Yeah,
all
I really
day.
just don't give a fuck, but that is me. That's my authentic way of being. You know what I mean?
Were you in have you been in therapy before? Do you feel like you've been able to? What do you think makes you so confident to feel like that? Because even doing the show, like sometimes I feel, I would say 9 out of 10, and every single day I feel good about what I do. But there are days where.
The only days that
I feel bad.
The only days that I don't feel good are days when, like, I've had the entire internet like drag me on Twitter, and then it goes over into Instagram, and it's straight up like bullying, death threats. I hope you get raped. Those are times when I'm like, I need to take a break. But I don't feel ashamed or any of that. It's more so like I need to not engage with this because it's so toxic.
Right.
So they're doing that based on.
Just shit she says.
Yeah.
Like politically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
like
pretty much just
shit.
existing, but...
Oh, no,
if
she
I
talks about
say
sex
anything,
work often, yeah.
Yeah, and there has just been, like, I don't even remember what I said, but it was something about LeBron James. He tweeted something about fathers, and I said something about, like, fathers are, like, trash, basically. And the whole fucking internet dragged me for about a week and a half. And then it went over into Instagram, and so it was all over the fucking place. And so I stand by what I say, and I mean what I say, and I feel good about what I say. Also, sometimes I have to disengage from whatever is toxic. But I have never been I don't know. I think I've always been a person who, like, this is me. And I don't know how to, I'm not a fake person, I guess is what I'm saying. I think a lot of us, so my family really taught me to be autonomous. Like, that's a word that I knew when I was like 10.
That's
like
true.
Making my own decisions.
Right.
What feels right for you? What do you want to do? What do you think about this?
I
Have you
think
thought about,
toxic
like that type
also
of shit?
a very underrated word. It feels very cliche. I think one of my good friends, G, was telling me this. She's like, I feel like every time I use that word, it sounds like people are always saying it. But it's true. A lot of shit is fucking toxic for you, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Social media is like a hard thing to do. I posted a picture at Pride yesterday. Said proud carpet muncher. And like, I used to not delete rude comments, but now I was just like, fuck it. Why do I want it to just sit here so that other people could then be like, oh, no, she's not. And then I got to be liking that you're coming for me, too. No, fuck it. Like,
yeah, and I think also because I have the background, and I think I've always had even though I wasn't always a therapist, I've always had that kind of a mindset. I also think a lot about how people are interacting, how people engage me.
Right.
So I know it's really less about me and more about them. Mm-hmm. So like I said earlier, I'm so fascinated by how people think or make sense of things. So when people say really terrible, rude, horrible shit to me, I think about, I wonder what's coming up for them. I wonder what traumas are triggered in them when
trolling
they
takes a
read
lot of
me.
effort.
You know,
people that get online and just start shitting on other women, like, especially girls, it's very hard for me to watch. I hate to say this because it sounds fucked up, but like something like a Shade Room, I kind of get it because you think you're just joining this whole thing of like, oh, it's gossip, it's fun, whatever.
I don't follow any of those.
But when it's specifically other women and they just post something with their body and another girl just got to tell you some shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
It's horrible.
Bitch, you look dumb.
Yeah. I want to get back to sex work because one of my friends had the question. And I thought it was a really good question because I don't think we ever really think about it. Do you remember at what point and in what scenario you decided, I'm going to charge for this pussy? This nigga want to fuck. I want money.
Yeah.
Instead of just having sex for enjoyment, I need money. How and what situation did it click in your head that you could put a motherfucking price on that pussy?
So when I was in college, I don't even really remember what prompted it, honestly. But I said to myself, I'm gonna try this and see what happens. And I made
just trying?
Yeah, like
did you see a movie or something that made you?
Maybe I think I'm just a whore, and I just like let me try new shit.
Let me just
try
something
wanted to
new.
fuck, so here I am. You know what I mean?
What was your first time like?
So this is what I was about to say.
Yes.
So I made the first biggest whore mistake of all lots of whores is I didn't get the money up front, and so I didn't get the money at all.
Oh, shit.
Where did you find them?
They, like, I don't know, I was like in a grocery store and something. It was like, he hollered at me and I was like, oh, what's up? And then he was like, oh, I'm trying to fuck. Like, he didn't say immediately, I'm trying to fuck, but like, it came to that. And I was like, yeah, well, I charge. He was like, all right, cool, come over. And then I just, made the
Wait,
biggest
you were
mistake.
in a grocery store?
Yeah, I wasn't like, I didn't like go in a grocery store like, I'm going to sell my pussy today. It
What'd
was
you
like,
have in
he
your
hit
hand?
me up.
Like,
I don't remember.
Eggplant, bananas?
No,
like,
no,
you look
no.
like you know what to do.
No. But that was, and so when that happened though, I stopped. I didn't even consider it until like years later. So
When you
I
knew the
started
rules.
doing, yeah, correct. I started getting more into it in 2013 and I had just created my Twitter. And I think maybe part of it was my Twitter was, I don't know if y'all remember ZD and like ZD girls and him twit pick this and that. I was one of those whores.
Okay.
And so that.
Do you?
No,
I don't. And he's a New York nigga, I think.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
no.
ZD girls is.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Like the food?
That was a huge thing. No, ZEE. Well, yeah, but no.
Yeah, but no.
ZEETI. He was he's like a nigga on Twitter who would say twit pick your pussy or twit pick your this or twit pick you in orange shorts and
you
would
would
do it.
They would
and then
do
they
it.
would
I
retweet
do remember
it and
that.
you get hella followers.
I do remember that.
Yes,
I do remember
I was
that.
one of those whores
Because they were tweeting nipple rings one day
Yes.
or in a thong or
Got it.
yeah, I do remember.
So
that.
I think it was really that was like, wow, I'm getting a lot of attention for being a whore.
Did you have like a hoe coach to see you through to make sure you hoed the right way?
I didn't. No, at that time I
So
really
it was
didn't.
trial and
So
error
it was
hoeing.
correct. So I started in 2013, and I was like, yeah, and then it worked. And the first time that I actually got money in my hand from fucking, I was like, it was like a high. I was like, why have I not been doing this? Why have I been fucking for free my whole fucking life? Like, that's wild to me. So pretty much from there, it's been a wrap.
Do you get enjoyment from fucking without getting money still, or do you think getting the money has affected you from being able to
It has
experience?
affected me.
It has affected you.
Yeah, because I pretty much always regret when I fuck niggas for free.
Why? Why though? Is it just because you
Because
didn't
it's
get
just not worth it. It's just not worth anything. It's not worth the lack of orgasm. It's not worth the waste of my time. It's not worth their emotional fucking weirdness and baggage. It's not worth the interaction. Men
So,
fucking drain me.
so are you dating someone?
No.
So when you
You be liking them niggas too though.
The niggas who are tricks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
do.
do be liking your tricks.
Yes, I do.
So let me ask you: at any point, if they wanted to make a relationship more than that trick, whatever
Dynamic, yeah.
yeah,
what do you call it?
yeah.
Pretty woman?
What do I call what?
Well,
Like, if I want it to be more than
So,
No, like the
so when you call
relationship
when it's a
between you-
trick, if it's not a sugar daddy, because then you would be considered sugar
tricks
mama,
are niggas who pay me to fuck.
right?
You call them tricks to their face?
Oh, I call my niggas tricks. They know
think
they're
I-
tricks.
I don't really know if I don't know.
But they know when they're
They
tricks.
know that they're tricks.
They know that they're
I don't know that
tricks.
I've said it directly, but they know what's up. Like,
And so, if you were to like one and want to leave from being tricked on by them because now there's an emotional attachment, like, do you really
that would never happen.
You-
I will never want to have any proximity to men that doesn't benefit me financially. Period. So you don't have to be somebody who's putting money, cash in my hand, leave cash in the dresser type of shit. But if you are a man in my life, you are going to be contributing to my life financially in some way for the sole purpose of its reparation.
Girl, did you look over at my
Period.
phone at this outline? Because this is my next question.
If you have a boyfriend,
Yes.
would you stop if he funded your life?
So the last
lifestyle?
person that I tried talking to, that was one of our major riffs, is that he didn't want me to do sex work, basically. And I was like, cool, are you going to give me like 5-10 bands a month or no? And he's like, well, no, I can't. And I said, well, then there's the answer to your fucking question.
So that's my next question, actually, and I'm so glad that you actually got right the fuck into it. So we had it was just an agreement a disagreement to agree that we just couldn't agree on this term that we talked about on a Patreon episode called Charity Girls. And so I'm not going to get into that. If you guys want to listen to that episode, you could be a patron. But there is a thin line between prostitution and then a girl who expects money from a nigga she fucking or that she
like a
fucks
sugar
with.
baby?
Yes. So Passport Cuddy does this thing that if you're fucking a nigga, you should be able to ask him for $100 or a phone bill or something like that. And then the argument on the other end is, well, why? You should be able to get money because you're fucking him. So there's this thin line.
Yes. The hard answer to that is yes. You having access to my time, space, energy, vagina, mouth, life, fucking anything, emotional labor, domestic labor. I don't give a fuck. If you want access to me in any way, shape, or form, you are going to show up financially. I don't give a fuck what the dynamic of the relationship is. If you are a man, if you're a trans man, I don't give a fuck. You are showing up financially, period.
Now, you said that they need to be able to give you 5-10 bands a month. Is that because your work would require you to have sex? Like, for example, what if there's a girl somewhere, let's say, like in a cubicle,
Yeah.
right? Who's just like listening to this show, and she's now getting the same mindset. Now, I want to say that
these niggas.
now charge these niggas are right, but let's just say that she's not going to get into sex work. Let's say that she's trying to date and find a nigga to break bread on her, because that's most of the people. Passport Cuddy, who she's talking about, is an awesome Instagram personality or
But
internet
she works
personality.
and still gets money.
But she has a book called The M and Man is for Money, and I feel like it's geared towards the average girl.
Sure. Yeah.
And so for that average girl, can they really listen to what you're saying and do the same?
Yes, I do the same.
Now, that's because that nigga's asking you not to work 5 or 10 bands a month. But her work doesn't require her fucking other niggas. So
but neither does mine, because I have a master's, I can do therapy.
Right.
So I can still get money.
But is that the girl who say you should fund my whole life too? Like, give me 5, 10 bands a month.
I think, I say 5, 10 bands because that's what I can pull in potentially. And that's what I'd be losing if I didn't fuck. That's what I'm saying.
So then the girl that is a 9 to 5.
Well, this is what I'm saying. My belief system is if you are someone who identifies as a woman, you have a right to men's money because of the power dynamic that is men and women. Just like if you are a black person, you have the fucking right to get paid by fucking white people for any access, any labor, anything that you do because of reparations. Same fucking concept because of the power differential there.
Right.
So my thing to women is you don't have to sell pussy, but I suggest or encourage or like to instill, because it's my belief system. So I'm not going to say you should do this, you're supposed to do this, this is no, or I'm more superior. No, this is just what I'm going to fucking say and you can do what you want with it. But my thing to women is I think it is morally sound to expect men in your life, and I don't even mean men that you're like fucking dating. I mean men, period. I'm going to expect my father to show up for me financially, and that's, side note, one of the reasons why I expect so much from men is because he gives me whatever the fuck I need. Right. I expect men friends in my life. If I need anything, I can call you and get some bread from you.
I want to play a little devil's advocate here, because like you've heard me say, I've had taken a bunch of money from men and love it, and
the niggas listening to this right now are rolling their fucking eyes.
But I do want to play devil.
You don't have to give bitches like 5 bands, like
because you said that the power dynamic is why women should expect this. Yes. Now, as a feminist, what should a man expect from me if he's giving me that?
What do you mean?
What if there's a power dynamic?
Yes.
How much do I have to? What do I owe him?
What do you owe men?
If he's really giving me 5, 10 bands a month, what do you owe that man?
You can give him whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? It's your decision.
Because you're saying there's a power dynamic. So, like, in some place, we're not really equal anymore if he's then funding that much.
We're not equal. Societally. I don't mean, like, my personal... I don't think in my brain I'm not like, I'm not equal. I'm lesser than a man. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking about social access, wealth.
And that's what I mean.
All right.
Because once that money...
is mine, I have more money than you?
No.
Okay.
Once that money, it's like, I fund your whole life.
Yes.
How do you keep that man from then... controlling you in essence and making sure that you are still in control? Like, look, listen, I do this for you, I do this for you, I do this for you. So, and that's the thing.
Yes.
I've dated someone, the only man that ever completely funded my life where I did nothing, was very emotionally abusive to me and really fucking brainwashed me.
Yes.
And made me fucking feel like I couldn't do shit.
Yes.
And I don't know how I could ever, as much as I want that,
right.
Again, I want a nigga to fucking do everything for me.
Right.
I don't know how I can get out of that again.
Yes, absolutely.
And it makes me feel like working is such a big deal.
That's
why I'm asking you that question.
So I think it depends on who the person is who is receiving the money. Mm-hmm. So I am someone, and this is not going to speak to everybody, right? But I am someone who I think I'm well-read, and I think that I've unpacked a lot of shit. And so I don't want to say the word allow because that's not a fair word either.
Because you said there was person receiving the money, but how can you make sure a man doesn't feel that way?
I don't give a fuck about how men feel. If you're giving me money,
there you go.
First of all, you're not controlling anything that I do. And that's me personally though. You know what I mean? I have been, but I'm not gonna say I've never been finessed. You know what I mean? I've never not been, I've been in abusive relationships. I've been on the other end of a man trying to control me because of what he's been giving me. I don't even mean a nigga who's like 5 racks. No, I just mean like he's my nigga and he bought me dinner and he thinks, all right, well, bitch, you're gonna, you know what I mean? Because I've dealt with some really trash ass niggas. But because of that experience, for me personally, I've learned how to navigate niggas and fucking pinpoint red flags very early, and I disassociate myself from that. So I don't give a fuck if you're coming up with 10 bands, 20 bands, 30 bands. If I feel in some way, shape, or form like you're going to try to gaslight me, if you're going to try to emotionally control me or manipulate me, I'm separating myself from you. And that's how I navigate not becoming brainwashed or not becoming controlled by niggas. That's my like way to navigate it.
I think that you are a unicorn in this situation because I feel like a lot of women, and we see it all the time, just like the bitches who get cheated on that have a bunch of shit, right? I've got a nice car, I've got a nice house, he does this, let him fuck other bitches, or let him do this to me. I think it's very hard for the modern girl to have as much confidence as you do and still receive money. And
it's a learning process. I fuck up. Like, I don't want what I'm saying to come off as I have never been a bitch who's been controlled. That's not true. I have been in really fucked up situations. You know what I mean? It's a fucking learning process.
It is.
What for me has...
I can give you that, because I know for a fact a dude couldn't put his hands on me again.
Then there you go. And I have been a bitch who let niggas put their hands on me again. You know what I mean? It's a fucking learning process. My thing for me was I reflected on what again, like all for me, it's therapeutic shit. What was going on for me that made me continue to stay in a situation that was not good for me? What was my role in that? And that conversation is a really, really difficult conversation to be had, because I'm never going to be victim blaming. I'm never going to say, well, you allowed it, you stay with him. No. We're not going to do that, because we're going to hold men accountable for the shit that they do. Also, a large part of the conversation is, where was your intuition in that moment? Did you feel something in the early beginning where it says, that's not the nigga for you, but then you ignored it and kept going? Mm-hmm. What was that situation like for you? What was going on through your head? Or what are the societal effects of you having access to this man? Oh, well, my parents want me to be married, or he's got this job. Right. How did that socialization play into it? Also, boundary setting. A lot of women, we're not good at setting boundaries because how we've been socialized with men. So me, a huge thing is I practice setting boundaries. And that started with setting boundaries with myself. Right. If I have to fucking go pee, I'm going to stop in the middle of this podcast and go pee, because I'm not going to ignore my body telling me to pee. You feel me? I literally started with baby things, setting boundaries with me, and then built it up with setting boundaries with niggas.
Setting boundaries. That's a great answer.
I also just feel like, too, a lot of women often ask me and Weezy how we do things, how we get certain men, how to be a hoe, like things like that. And it's just like what you said in all of this. Like, there's not really a guideline for this. It's literally different based on everyone, especially because we're all dealing with different interactions.
You have totally different things to offer than I do, and than you do.
Absolutely. So, and niggas want us for different reasons.
Exactly.
Whether it's our personalities, how we speak,
my
our
deep
bodies,
throat.
you know, my fucking big ass. Like, one of the fucking things. So
Wait, are you going to home mail?
Yeah, so
I want to really wait. Do you remember the girl that said, please read my home mail at the live show?
We can read that on the next one, because I actually have a question about this one. I don't really...
Okay.
I want to say something before we move on.
Yes.
If you are someone who is trying to go into sex work, I really, really encourage you to seek out other sex workers prior to getting into it who can help mentor you. And if there are people who can mentor you for free, that's great, but also throw them some coin every now and then, because it's really, really helpful to have somebody who can help hold your hand through the process. So for me, that's my best friend, Nina K. Like, she holds me the fuck down. If I need any information about anything, she's the one who told me how to screen niggas before I meet anybody stranger. She's the one who told me how to do my rape.
And hit you up, girl.
I'm just saying, like, that's who. I'm okay with mentoring. I don't hate doing shit for free though, but people ask me here and there.
Know.
They hit Nally up.
Just so y'all know.
She's
so
like,
that's really important, and I encourage people to definitely seek that out so you can have some help and guidance.
That's good advice.
Okay, so I wanted to get to our home mail. And with this question, well, it's not even really a question, but it's a conversation I also wanted to have with you because it was one that we had last episode. And I think that in the line of work that you have, you would able to maybe kind of shed some light on this, because clearly as men, they don't even know their own anatomy. So we got a response. Shout out to one of our male listeners. He said, "What up, Weezy and Mandy? Big fan of the podcast. Y'all are dope as fuck. But I'm listening to the episode with Wax and Andrew, and I have to be honest. I've been with my wife for 11 years and couldn't have a threesome if I had to put on a condom. I told my wife that if we did something with another woman, it would have to be oral, which is ass backwards, but that's why I've never had one. And if I had to put one on, I'd probably go soft fast as shit."
Yep.
So I had another person write us up about the same episode, and I want to write this. I want to share this as well because it's on the same topic. "Mandy, you're absolutely fucking right about the fucking a girl raw, then trying to fuck a girl with condoms. It's crazy. I was having
Say it again.
So basically, the topic is
hold on. So Mandy said that it's because she was like, I've fucked with niggas. Or I've heard that niggas will put a condom on and go soft.
Yes.
And go soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what the conversation
she was
is
saying
about.
That's probably why that guy needed to do that.
So we had a problem with a guy not wanting to use a condom.
We on the other table said, fuck that, it's new pussy.
That's what he said. And I was like, no, fuck that shit. So he actually said, let me start over. Trying to fuck a girl with condoms. It's crazy. I was having sex with these two chicks during the same time period, one with condoms and one without. And I've always been a person that can go up rounds back to back. But I found after having sex with one chick raw, then the other chick with condoms, I could only go one round and it would take forever to get back up. I thought
with
something.
The condom?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought something was wrong with me. Then I realized that my dick was used to going raw. Since me and the raw chick stopped fucking, now I'm back to my normal self. So I wanted to talk about this because as someone who's in sex work, do you require condoms? Do you not? And do you see a difference when you do tell a guy to use a condom who maybe isn't used to using condoms. I.e., I mentioned the married niggas I be fucking.
Yeah.
Them niggas don't be, and it's like, because they fuck their wives raw, they can't fuck me raw.
Right.
But wearing a condom gives you, it's different.
Right.
Even if it is new pussy, which is what the argument was last week. Like, niggas could get hard. New pussy is new pussy. We love new pussy.
That's not true. New pussy is nervous pussy too. So niggas have issues with that because they're nervous. So there's a piece of that part as well.
Didn't even think of that. And
Yeah.
so is there a trick that, because we have a lot of male listeners.
Yeah.
So is there a trick that maybe you could provide to a male listener who is used to having raw sex and now has a partner that wants them to wear a condom?
Yeah.
What could they do?
Yeah. I think the first thing that I want to say is people who have penises, y'all need to give yourself. I'm an inclusive bitch. Like, we're not even gonna say men. People with penises in general, y'all need to be kinder with yourself about your penis, because men specifically are socialized to believe that their dick should stand up hard as fuck at any given moment. If I touch you, your dick is hard, and if not, something's wrong with you. And that's not the reality. The reality is there is a lot that goes into an erection. Period. There is a lot. And arousal, erection, and ejaculation are 3 separate processes. So sometimes your dick may be hard and you're not even aroused. Sometimes you might nut and you weren't even hard. Like, there's like different combinations of things.
Right.
So you need to be patient and kind with yourself and understanding that your dick is a part of your body and love it, and don't beat yourself up if your dick can't get up sometimes, or if you come fast, or if it's not as hard as usual, or whatever. There's so many things that can contribute to that. Nervousness, drinking,
I didn't even
your
think of
fucking
all of that.
what you eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I that's my thing to men specifically.
I think that's great advice too for women to hear, because like I'm sure
I
I've been
talk
there with
to
like,
women
Oh, it
about
fucks
this
up
as
our
well.
egos.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because it's
you're
not
like,
about
oh
you,
my
bitch.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Right.
Get the
And
fuck
so-
over yourself.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I've been there where even wanting to get a guy up for a second round, and he just couldn't get up. And normally I'm used to, if I suck your dick, it's gonna get back hard.
Right.
But if I'm with someone,
and then we get really bitchy, and then that creates a fucking anxiety syndrome for niggas, because then they're like, oh fuck, I gotta make sure. And if you're thinking all that, they're not getting a fucking dick
I
hard.
didn't even think that. I'm not gonna
We
lie.
need
I'm
to be
very
more
selfish in that sense.
I mean, I think that we need to think about it in terms of how most of us think about foreplay. Like, I would like sometime to get my shit more wet. Like, some people have super wet vaginas, some people do not.
Right.
That's a reality. We all love to talk about like, oh, my pussy is super wet, gushy, juicy, bitch. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we have dry days. Some people just don't have as much lubrication. Go buy some fucking lube. But there's a whole thing about like most men have a thing with women like, oh, you got to use lube. You can't get it wet.
They do.
So they
shame us if we have
it's
lube.
A reciprocal issue that we create anxiety with each other.
Like,
Me too.
Oral, and like once, like honestly, the only way I get crazy wet is a certain angle from missionary when like my legs are back and it's like that deep ass.
Right.
Then it's like
so.
And what's crazy is I've judged how much I like a guy sometimes even by how wet I am when I'm with them.
Right.
So I'll be with one guy and I get super fucking wet, super aroused, and then the next guy is like, wait, do I really not like you this much? Because my pussy is normally way wetter than this. Why isn't it not wet like it usually is? And so I even psychologically tie the wetness of my pussy to how much I like a guy.
Yeah. And I think so the underlying kind of thing here is we all are human beings.
What is that? Wait, the niggas in the room looking like, what? No, look, they're like hands up in the air. I ain't gonna
feel
say
like
nothing.
wax over here psychologically. Like, bitch, let's just get back to pussy. I'm just, like,
I'm
nervous.
just saying, I be thinking about my pussy,
thinking about
and I
my
be
head
feeling-
and my pussy, because now what's gonna happen is when I leave this motherfucker and go get some dick, I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
Is my pussy-
I'm not into you anymore.
Yeah, so it's a lot of mental stuff, and we also have a lot of baggage that we bring into shit, and then we don't communicate about things properly. And you know, there's a lot of things to it. But I also want to say that your vagina or your penis, that's really not the sex organ. The biggest sex organ is your brain. So if you have a lot of shit going on mentally, if you have a lot of distractions, you have a lot of stress, whatever, it's your brain that's gonna fuck you up. It's not your dick. So your dick is only gonna function if your brain tells it to. You know what I mean? Everything, the sensation of pain or feeling good or pleasure all comes from your brain.
I've talked to my pussy before.
And
Like,
that's
about
why
getting
you
it
don't have
together.
to even you don't have to do anything to stimulate your vagina or dick to have an orgasm. It's not about your genitals, it's about your brain.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a friend right now who is kind of going through a mental chaos like right now because he's questioning not only his sexuality but what he's into in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he's said even for the last year it's been hard for him to even enjoy sex because he doesn't know if what he likes is what he's supposed to like.
Right.
And so he's like, I'd rather just stay away from it because the anxiety that comes with sex is something I'd rather steer clear of until I am accepting of who I am.
One of the first things that I tell people when they come to see me for therapy is to take should and supposed to out of your fucking vocabulary. Shoulds and supposed to will fuck you up because that's expectations, and then you just get all wrapped up in that. So it's really not should and supposed to. It's I'd like for this, or I wish this, or I want that. It's not shoulds and supposed. That's all bullshit. So unpack that completely.
I do like that.
It's not I should have a hard dick right now because this new pussy. No, I would like to have a hard dick right now because this new pussy.
And you could always pray, guys. Y'all know if your dick is not working, you could always pray.
I don't know how helpful
go into the bathroom and pray, and hopefully your answers will be questioned. I will say that God has a sense of humor, honey, because I did pray for my period to come on early because I'm going to Vegas, so I wanted to be clear before Vegas.
Boom.
Bitch, nigga made it come in the middle of the day. I had to go change my goddamn clothes. That shit, I was like, you petty as fuck, God. But thanks, but goddamn, you petty as fuck.
Oh my God.
But I want to thank you so much for coming on. Guys, y'all don't understand. This girl on social media is fucking amazing. The things that she says, the things that she really gets you to think about in terms of your sexuality, in terms of sex, in terms of women's rights, in terms of everything together is fucking amazing. If you guys are looking for someone new to follow because y'all need to open your minds the way you guys have with this podcast, I want you guys to follow Raquel Savage. She also has her own podcast where her stories shit on me and Weezy. I know y'all think me and Weezy be about doing some shit, but goddamn, Raquel be living this motherfucking life. So
I feel like sex worker stories gotta be
her shit is lit.
My shit is pre-sex worker stories.
No,
honestly.
but not only that,
I don't even have interesting
this
sex
bitch
worker
be on
stories,
yachts. She done talked about fucking bachelor parties. She done talked about this football player nigga took me here. Her shit be lit.
I gotta get it.
No, I
gotta get a blue check mark under my belt. It's been a few
her
years.
shit be lit.
I feel like once I do that, then I could come back. It's just research. You know what I'm saying? I'm in an open thing.
Don't give me a blue check mark. It's a wrap. Y'all saw my MCM this week. Listen, that's what I'm after, bitch. Ain't he fine as fuck? You was like, girl, I ain't even gonna shout his name out because I don't need y'all looking. I had to untag him and unadd him. I was like, whoa, this is getting a lot of attention from my pretty friends.
Right.
I don't need the competition.
You are so annoying.
I was like, I don't need that competition. Let me slide in them DMs before they do.
God.
But where can our listeners find you?
Yeah, so you can find me. RaquelSavage.com is my website. Raquel Savage is Snapchat and Instagram. Raquel_Savage is my Twitter. My podcast is the Savage Life Podcast, which we actually just finished and wrapped, so there will be no more Savage Life Podcast. But there's lots of 6 seasons you can catch up on.
How many episodes did you do?
It's 10 episode seasons, so there should
so
be
about
60 episodes.
I mean,
Okay.
I think seasons are a good thing.
Yeah, we only do that because we like to take a break.
Yeah, but you might.
Right, because she got dick to suck. She got to come back with stories.
Facts. And if y'all want to pay me, y'all can pay me PayPal.me/Raquel Savage. My Cash App is King Savage 3X. If you just want to book me for anything, raq.savage@gmail.com. Bring the bag, please.
Oh, bring that bag. And we'll go ahead and include all of those things in our description of this episode so that you could find her. And we're also going to tag her. Also, I have this very cute ass fucking hat on right now that says Savage.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in merchandise that says Savage, they're really fucking dope. And I just, again, want to thank you for coming on because I think you're dope. I think you're smart. And I want y'all to know right here, hoes read, bro. Hoes are smart. Hoes graduate. This is what the fuck happens, dog. This is the new age era of hoes. I just need you to know. She got her master's. She's shitting on me. I only got 2 bachelors over here. But hey, anyways, guys, I'm super excited. Again, if you guys want to hear extra content from us, you guys can become patrons at patreon.com. Also, if you want to send us your home mail, you can send that to whoreibledecisions@gmail.com. You guys know where to fucking find us. Thank you, y'all. This has been yet another episode of Horrible Decisions. Bye.
Yeah, ho!